Thank you. Continuing the retro hipster trend, Fuji have released this, the X-A5, a camera that promises to give you the confidence to shoot more. But is it enough to convince you to ditch your camera phone?
Much like its predecessor, the X-A3, the chic 60s rangefinder stylings promise to make it look like you've just picked this up from a car boot sale, but without that smell of cat piss. Under the bonnet is a brand new 24 megapixel Bayer filter APS-C sensor, as well as a new phase detection autofocus system. You get to enjoy Fuji's film simulation picture profiles, as well as 4K video recording. Its days of yesteryear look fit perfectly with one of these, some of these, and of course, plenty of these. Yes, as part of your social media crusade, it's crucial that you pick up random bits of crap from the thrift store and sell the idea that they're wonderful tools of photography, such as a CD, some prisms, and a magnifying glass. Thereafter, you should assimilate with your newfound herd at any cliché photography hotspot, easily found via a simple search on Instagram. Failing that, just look for elaborately posed girls in front of squatting boyfriends. The camera will ensure you fit right in.
Everything is housed in this polycarbonate shell, which is just another fancy way of saying plastic. Even these leather accents are made of plastics. Those looking for a whiff of rawhide should look elsewhere. The actual build quality is quite plasticky. It feels kind of like it was made by Fisher-Price, but I guess it lends itself to the weight of the camera, which, whilst it is lighter than a DSLR, it is still heavier than the competition. Also, there's a touchscreen autofocus system. Once you've selected where you want it to focus, it will expose and focus for that area. But the problem is, it does have this autofocus lock, which I believe you can turn off. But once it's locked, you cannot change the settings, which means that you can't adjust anything afterwards, and it's not always correct. It's not always that accurate.
The camera has its quirks, but don't let that spoil the fun you're having with your orbs. It's crucial to first establish what shots look the best on the web, then reinvent it for your own social space.
What the?
Having exhausted all the possible reinventions in the area, I decided to move on to the next location that was on my feed.
So we're here at our second destination, which is the Pingshek Estate, which is another common IG ground. But let's talk about the camera for a moment. It's a 24 megapixel APS-C Bayer filter sensor, which is not that common of the Fuji range, which normally use X-Trans, but the XA range all use this Bayer filter sensor. The lens is a 15-45, which in full frame equates to 23 to 68 millimeters, which is actually a pretty decent range. It is, of course, your standard 3.5 to 5.6 kit lens aperture. The actual lens is actually pretty sharp. It's not too bad, and also it's got macro function, so you can hold objects up to 2 inches in front of the lens and it can focus. However, it's got that same horrible Fisher-Price build quality as the body, and also it utilizes a power zoom.
The 15-45 lens employs an electronic system reminiscent of camcorders. Aperture tends to go a bit wild though during a long zoom, and the noise level is simply unacceptable for video. When zoom speed is reduced, the problems are amplified. Oh dear. Well, how does the camera perform as a vlogging rig?
Oh my god guys, this is so amazing! I'm here now, check it out! Don't forget to like, share, follow, subscribe!
caffeine subsided, the overly enthusiastic attitude came to an abrupt end.
Jam-packed with features, this camera aims to be the next weapon in your social media crusade. It's got everything that you need. It's got a full APS screen on the back, which when you pull up activates a selfie mode. It's got a mic jack port on the side there, and it can shoot video and take 24 megapixel images. However, there are some downsides. Let's take the mic port for example. Now this is a 2.5 millimeter and not a 3.5 millimeter, which means that if you're going to use a video mic like this, yes, whilst it may fit on the top, it's not going to slot into there without an adapter. But that is not your only problem. The other problem is once you've put on a mic that has any kind of back distance, that kind of renders your selfie screen useless, so you're kind of going in blind. And if that's the case, there's far more compelling cameras than this as a vlogging camera.
Amongst the main features is this 15 frames per second 4K. That's right, 15 frames per second. It's a killjoy right there. I mean, just look at that horrendous stutter.
The camera also features a 3 portrait enhancer mode, which helps you take better pictures of yourself with the selfie screen. As well as that, the film allows you to use Fuji's infamous 11 film picture profiles, which are based on all of their old film stocks. As well as this, Instagrammers can rejoice because it's got in-camera RAW manipulation, which means you don't have to learn how to use Lightroom. You can just do it in the camera and then Bluetooth it straight to your phone and boom, it's up on Instagram. Because who has time for that when you've got thousands of followers waiting for your posts?
Hardly the lightest camera to satisfy your travelling needs, but a decent offering for those looking to transition from phone to interchangeable lenses without having to switch to bulky photography gear. With the wonderful Fuji color science, the X-A5 produces accurate colours that pop off the JPEGs. The kit lens also offers oodles of creative options and is relatively sharp. 'Tis a shame about the overall build quality. The camera offers a good option for those looking to start building a lens collection under the Fuji moniker, and actually serves quite well as a gateway to widening your understanding of photography.